Now, joining us to get some expert commentary on what you're about to see and what it takes to be a Blue Angel and what it takes to perfect those maneuvers is someone who knows all about that. He is a retired Blue Angel lead solo pilot, now a motivational speaker. John Gucci Foley joins us now. John, or should I say Gucci, thanks for joining us.
Kristen, let's go with Gucci.
Hi there.
That's my call sign, and that's what we all
Gucci.
Blue Angels call it.
Yeah, how did you get it? How'd you get that?
You don't get to pick it. One day, I wore a thin black leather tie, thinking I was cool, and I wasn't. And my teammates go, "That's Gucci," and I flinched, and so it stuck.
Okay, Gucci, just so you know, as soon as our, director sees a shot of the Blue Angels, we're going to take that. But don't worry, folks, we'll continue to hear your expert commentary. But I want to know, you grew up in California and San Diego, right? Like, how did you become a Blue Angel? What was the path?
Oh, yeah. Well, and by the way, I lived in San Francisco after the Blue Angels, right there on Telegraph Hill. But,
excellent.
My dad was military. He was an Army officer, and I loved my dad. I wanted to grow up just like him. But it turns out I saw the Blues fly as a little kid when I was 11 years old, and something hit me in my heart. I said, "Dad, I'm going to do that." And it took about 18 years to make it happen. But most Blue Angel pilots have seen the Blues fly as kids, and that's part of our job, is to inspire greatness in another human being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Okay, so you've lived in San Francisco. How long were you a Blue Angels, and what does it mean to be the lead solo pilot?
Yeah, good question. So I lived there. I was on the Blues for 3 years. My first year, I was number 7, which is the narrator who does the VIP rides. Did you get a ride yet?
Okay, I have to say I chicken out because I'm really afraid of the G's, and I get scared of roller coasters. I know, Gucci, I'm an embarrassment. You live for that, right? You live for the G's.
We would have made it fun, but to answer your question, I was the narrator the first year. Then I was the opposing solo number 6, and then the third year person on the team flies the lead solo in operations, and we do all those crazy maneuvers that come at each other at 1,000 miles per hour, close or miss within a wingspan.
Oh, my gosh. Can I just ask you, let's show some video because we're waiting for the live action. But maybe we can just show people what it is that you guys do when you're up there, right? And how close you really are. And, I imagine it takes so much practice to get to the point where you can be within feet of each other's aircraft.
Yeah, it's actually inches. I mean, we'll be defining it by inches. Yeah, 18 inches is what you'll see the diamond fly. And you're about to see the head-on. When the Blues come, we're going to come right across Alcatraz and come right head-on you as they're taking off right now from Oakland. But we'll come in at about 36 inches, all 6 of us. And then what we'll do is we'll get down to 18 inches. It's pretty crazy. It's fun.
Wow. Okay. You know how they say practice makes perfect? But before you get to the perfect part, there's zero margin for error.
Well, I'd say there's little margin. We always have some little margin. I like to say what we do is not dangerous, but it's inherently unforgiving. So the preparation, the focus, the briefing we go in beforehand, the debriefing we do afterwards. But I got to tell you, when I flew on the Blue Angels, I had a lot more hair. There you go. That's one of the solos coming by, giving you just an idea of what it feels like to be pulling those G's in that airplane.
How many G's, and what does that really mean, right, in terms of the impact on your body? This is a practice, by the way, from yesterday.
Yeah, this is from yesterday, right? I mean, we were doing circle rival maneuvers. That's the number 7 jet, but it's actually one of the demo pilots flying it. What are the G's is G-force. So you and I are experiencing 1 G. It's just the force of gravity. When you're pulling against gravity, and that doesn't mean just straight up. That means any direction. We'll take in the Blue Angel Air Show 6, 7.5 times your weight of gravity, and just picture that it's a force coming at you. So you weigh 7 times what you would normally weigh right now, and so you got to bear down. You got to be strong to fight against those G forces.
I mean, how does that feel just on your whole body and on your head and on your eyes? I would imagine it's easy to get disoriented when you are, facing all those G's, right?
Now, it's not so much disoriented. It feels like you're in a football game. I flew Ronnie Lott on one of my jets. And Ronnie and I, San Francisco, great football player. It feels like you're in a game. I mean, there's a lot of pressure against you. And you just have to stay focused and you bear down. And here's what's interesting. It's not how many G's you pull. It's how long you sustain them. That's the issue. Pulling G's for a long time means you have to breathe and you have to bear down. And we train on weights, heavy weights every day to be accustomed to that.
Right, you got to be in top shape mentally and physically. Gucci, please don't go away. The Blue Angels are now in the air. We're going to try to get some good shots for you and continue to talk with you after this short break. Hello, we are back now on the roof of ABC7 Broadcast Center as we wait for the Blue Angels show, which is taking place from 3 to 4. And it seems like they took off a little bit on the later side today, so we'll see what we get. But definitely there's a little bit of fog around the Golden Gate, too. But I want to bring back our special guest today, John Gucci Foley, a former Blue Angels lead solo pilot, now a motivational speaker. We were talking earlier, right, about what it takes, both in terms of the training and the mental focus. And I wonder, right, are there lessons that we can take away for all of us? We're not all going to be Blue Angels. We're not all going to be flying those F-18s. We're not all going to be, right, doing those things. But what is it that you get, that you learn from being a part of this team and in reaching for that excellence that you think we can all learn from?
Great question. It's a couple things. First off, I'll go right to the most important, and it's a saying we have on the Blue Angels called "Glad to be here," and that becomes the ethos of the team. So it's all about preparation and focus and discipline. By the way, there's the solos. They're detaching from the Delta. You're going to see the 4 Diamond pilots go up and over, and the solos will come back and cross.
But look at them. Look at that. That's live. Gucci, that's live.
Yeah, that's live. That's what I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what you're seeing right now.
That's awesome. That's what you're talking about, the diamond? Okay.
Yeah, the diamond. And then the solos. Now you're going to see the diamonds peeling off. The solos are going to come back and cross. But back to your question, it's about mental focus. So how do you wake up in the morning? How do you show up? We show up with the glad to be here mindset. We get prepared and focused. And this execution through high trust. We have a real high trust. But the most important piece, and I teach this all over the world in many organizations, is we have a debrief process where we learn, we grow, and give every single day. And that debrief is the magic. Now, if you're watching the TV, you're going to see the 2 solos are going to come by and cross. It's going to look like they're going to hit, but we're not. There you go. Boom.
Yes.
That was the pass. Yeah. And now what's going to happen is
it's like, hello there.
Yeah, see that 7G pull straight up into the vertical.
Wow. Look at that, folks. Blue Angels live over San Francisco.
Yeah, coming from the right, you're going to see the diamond come in, and they're going to be flying that beautiful Blue Angel diamond about 36 to 18 inches apart. And let me tell you, it takes a lot of trust and a lot of teamwork to execute this maneuver that you're about to see.
All right, Gucci, can you tell me what you liked about flying over San Francisco? I know you guys do tourist shows in a lot of different cities.
Yes, I loved it. Well, number one, you're over the water and all those boats out there, and you can feel the energy in the city, right? I also love Thursday, the circle and rival maneuvers, going around buildings. But, the Golden Gate Bridge, iconic. We're in front of the Embarcadero. It's just the crowds. San Francisco is probably one of those beautiful cities in the world. And when you can see it from 10,000 feet and you see all those fans waving at you, it gets really powerful. I love that.
I know, right? Oh, look at this. Okay, what are we looking at here?
That's the Blue Angel diamond. See those wingtips?
Wow.
They're only 18 inches from each other. We're actually tucked underneath the airplane.
Oh my gosh. Gucci, look, if I'm, driving near another car and I nick it accidentally, I cause a little minor damage, a few $1,000. It's terrible, but if nobody gets hurt, it's all good. But you can't do that with these F-18s, right? You cannot.
No, and try this. That's a great analogy driving a car. When you're flying that close to another airplane, you can actually see the cracks in the paint, and you're doing that at 500 miles per hour. That takes teamwork. That takes trust. Okay,
Wow.
solo.
And that takes, of course, so much training. Oh, there you go. That's what you would have been doing, right? That's what you used to do.
Yeah, right here. That's the knife edge pass. That's where we get within a wingspan at 1,000 miles per hour. Now, these clears are where the high G-forces come in, and that's 7.5 Gs. You're looking down. I love being inverted and looking down on the city and pulling 7 Gs. It's a good way to wake up in the morning.
You seriously don't get disoriented being upside down?
No, that's, well, I mean, with the first time you do it, sure. But that's part of what we call situational awareness. And as a pilot, like I flew in the movie Top Gun, and I flew off aircraft carriers.
Take a look.
Really good.
Hey, let's just take a look. It's right behind me right now. Let's follow this to break. Look at that. Wow, look at that shot as they fly past me. Gucci, I am in awe.
Well, that's, Kristen, that's part of our job is to create awe. So I'm glad that you used that.
All right. Thank you. John Gucci Foley, thank you so much for your expertise. Take a short break and be right back.